know, it's a big show when you got our buddy Jared Carrabis in the house of Section 10. He's had various podcasts. Section 10 is the first one. They'll be the headliner for now. Jared, good to see you as always, man. We'll talk all things Red Sox and watch a little bit of this game as well. First thing I want to hit you on is Roman Anthony. As everyone knows, he's been the Roman Empire. Just an incredible story for them as a leadoff hitter. Offense a little listless without him, which is to be expected. 222 as a team, no homers in 4 games since Anthony's landed on the IL. How big an impact is it not having him?
It's huge. It's huge, guys. I mean, I go back to what the team looked like before he got there, and you know, it's kind of been like compounding from 2022 on. All these years of 500 and missing the playoffs, and then this year kind of started off looking like it was going to be the same way. But I kept saying, you know, like, wait for Roman to get here. Like, we don't know what the team's identity is. We don't know what the dynamic of the lineup is going to look like until Roman gets here. And the second he got there, they were almost 20 games above 500 as a team since Roman got called up. So he changed everything. And up until last night, like that series finale against the D-backs, it was looking like they kind of reverted back to that team that wasn't very good. So, yeah, it was a nice breath of fresh air to get that last one in Arizona. And, you know, things are going pretty well tonight.
Jared, when you look at certain guys, and I look at, you know, roster construction, and I look at Alex Bregman, I said some guys just fit in certain clubhouses and on certain teams. I know you mentioned on one of your podcasts that you're not worried, but we did hear that Bregman is going to opt out. I think he has to opt out just from a negotiation standpoint, but how important would it be for the Red Sox to re-sign this guy?
Big time. I mean, you know as well as anyone, he's everything that this team needs, everything that most teams looking to contend to win a World Series need. You've got the leadership, you know, from a verbal standpoint. You have the leadership from a lead by example standpoint, the championship pedigree. Say what you want about 2017, but they made up for it in 2022. They won a legit one. This is a guy that has never sat at home in October in his career. You know, he doesn't know what it's like to not play postseason baseball. You have Gold Glove defense at an infield position, and he's a top 3 hitter in your lineup. I mean, what else do you need? Great relationship with the manager here in Boston. It would be, I don't want to say devastating if he weren't back, but it would be a hole. I'm not sure how the Red Sox would be able to fill it. But to your point, Mikey, you got to opt out if you're Bregman. After the Red Sox trade Rafael Devers, they kind of gave up all the leverage in this situation. I mean, Bregman being a Boris guy, I know he's at home licking his chops over what he could finagle for his guy. So, yeah, I think it's a situation where Bregman, I think he's openly said this. He loves Boston more than he thought he would. He wanted to go to a market where the objective was to win a World Series with a fan base that was super passionate. He got that, and I think he knew he was getting that when he signed here, but I think he also got more than what he thought he was in his wife, Reagan. Like, I think it's kind of just a perfect situation for him. So ultimately, I do think they'll get something done.
He's a big-time player, certainly thrives in that spotlight, has done so in the past in his career. Jared, I want to ask about Garrett Crochet. He's been better on the road than he has been at home. Not a huge difference, half a difference in terms of his ERA. But I'm curious about perhaps a result of fatigue. He's thrown 32 more innings than his career high of 146 set last year. He's likely going to be the runner-up in the Cy Young to Tarik Skubal. Obviously, he's been tremendous. Well, how do you think Alex Cora manages his innings down the stretch? We're going to be hitting 200 innings, perhaps, for a guy with, obviously, so much of this team's hopes rest on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, to the fatigue point, I get it. You know, he's in uncharted waters right now, as you mentioned, in terms of the innings pitched. But his velocity, his fastball velocity in his first September start, it was better than his season average. So he's almost getting stronger, which is what you would expect from a guy his size. I mean, he's a horse. And what's crazy is Peyton Tolley is actually, he might be bigger than him, which is scary. They're two very large individuals. It's why, you know how like when Poppy would walk around, if he didn't know your name, he would call you Poppy. So the thing with Crochet is he calls everyone Beast to be like, what's up, Beast? What's going on, Beast? Because he is himself a beast. They are going to have to build in some, that's been like a topic of discussion on like sports talk radio over here in Boston is, do you want to just go for it and pedal to the metal with Crochet, or are you trying to build in these rest days? They've been kind of building in rest days the whole year. If this is his 29th start, I want to say the number of normal rest outings for him is fewer than 15. I want to say it might be 10 or something like that. So yeah, if you have to build in the rest days to get him at his best, by all means, do what you got to do.
This is his 29th start, made 32 last year. I like the whole concept of Beast and Beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, Mr. Beast. How about the nickname War Pig?
Yeah, so that shout out to Lou Maloney. In spring training, he sat in on one of the press conferences and was like, hey, do you mind if I call you a pig because you're nasty? And he's like, I love it. Let's continue to roll with it. So we leveled it up to the War Pig, and now we got Peyton Tolley, so we might be starting to call him Piglet. So we got a whole stable out here in Boston.
I like it.
Jared, speaking of nasty, I thought Jonathan Papelbon's 2006 season might have been one of the best seasons I saw for a closer in Boston lore, let's say. What Aroldis Chapman's doing is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the MO for him was, yes, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but he always, once every 4 outings, got into that command problem. He'd walk 2-3 guys an inning, and, it was a high-wire type act. This guy does, it's strike one, it seems like every single time. He's been so dominating. I don't think there's a better reliever out there in the big leagues. Tell me what you've seen.
I've seen a guy who hasn't given up a hit in over a month. I think it's 1 earned run since the end of May. I know some people are saying, like, where's he going to fit into the Cy Young conversation? Tarek Skubal, at this point, I think, has that locked up. But where does he fit? I mean, it's an interesting conversation. There have been relievers that have done it in the past. I think it would have to be a year with a kind of a weaker class in terms of starting pitching. But it's been automatic. And I don't know how much you guys buy into the whole, Connor Wong just told him, hey, why don't you try to locate your fastball and see how that goes? Like I saw Jimmy, the John Boy guys were interviewing Booney recently, and they're like, do you buy that he just didn't locate his fastball previously, and before he was just kind of gassing guys up at 102 and closing his eyes and hoping for the best? And they all were just like, yeah, no, I don't know about that. It's kind of hard.
I can't believe it's the first guy that told him, hey, let's locate the fastball.
Yeah,
that's a tough stretch for me after 15 years in the big leagues.
Yeah, let's work in or out and see how that goes. No, I don't think that's what happened. But I mean, to Andrew Bailey's credit, there's been a lot of guys that have entered the Red Sox pitching lab, so to speak, and we've seen great results. And I know that last year you didn't see tremendous results with a guy like Brian Bayo, for instance. But if you go back and look at the track record with the San Francisco Giants, like guys like Logan Webb, like they didn't take that big leap until year 2. So I think we're starting to see some leaps year 2. But with Chapman, it's really just a matter of strike one, get ahead in the count. And when you are ahead of the count, you've got 102 in the tank and you're throwing a slider and you're dropping in a split piece. It's like, okay, like that's just not fair. Like you should only be able to pick one of those.
I had the great pleasure to work with Dallas Braden for years there at ESPN on Baseball Tonight. Colorful guy, obviously outspoken. Obviously, you know that from doing the podcast with him all those years. How about our buddy Dallas catching a fly ball? We're rolling this video right now as we're watching the Red Sox, the A's. But this is Dallas showing off his skills here, Jared. You were not surprised by this whatsoever.
So there is a rivalry that was brewing between Dallas Braden, who does the television broadcast, and his radio broadcast partner, who made a catch earlier in the season. And he was all excited about it and rubbing it in Dallas's face. And what I compared this to on the show this morning was Dallas getting to catch the ball in the booth and it being from a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's like Jafar getting the lamp. We don't want that. It was the last infinity stone for Dallas to be able to wreak havoc on the rest of his broadcast partners over there. So that was the one thing they had over him. Now he has it, and he got Trouty to sign it after the game. Sent yeah, there's Johnny making the catch. Yep.
Unbelievable. What a catch.
All right. We'll give him credit.
Yeah, so then he went and I think he texted Angels PR and he was like, "Hey, any chance Trout?" He's like, "He's expecting you." So he got Trout to sign the ball. It said nice catch on it, and yeah, it's a whole thing now.
Love the Jafar reference. If only we could all have a friend like me when it comes to Dallas Braden. Jared, thanks so much, man.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. It's good to see you.
Next Wednesday, the Red Sox are holding a Section 10 night in honor of the Section 10 podcast, hosted by Jared Carrabis, of course, with the Red Sox, always doing great stuff. So make sure you check out that night, and of course, check out the Section 10 podcast. Great stuff there from Jared.